Good morning. And good afternoon to our colleagues at ASDA, and good night to Asia, because it's, when you see Ed Kolodziejski and others there on video, always be sensitive to what time of the day it is. That's one of the lessons I learned in international, is that, it seems so easy, doesn't it, to just be communicating by video, but then you have to really think about that. It may be approaching bedtime, for some on the other side of the world, but Charles Hawley started the meeting off by saying that this is his favorite meeting. I think it was Charles that said that, and I have to really underline that and say that this is my favorite meeting too. Isn't it fun to come and learn about what's going on around the world in this area of sustainability? And I can't tell you how proud I am of the leadership, but especially proud that this is becoming more and more integrated through the process, so that the associates, the drivers, the store associates, the buyers, all through the organization around the world are not just involved, but that are really committed to this area of sustainability. The great thing, Leslie and Matt, we're really well ahead of schedule. So I could stand up and give you a 1-hour speech about how really, really proud I am of just what's going on. Early in the year, when I think it's been referred to, our January meeting, when we said we want to broaden our focus and we really want to accelerate, we could see that there were many good things already taking place in the area of sustainability, but we wanted to move faster, didn't we? When you see something that's working well, don't you want to go after it even more, to be more aggressive and faster with implementation? I wouldn't have dreamed, I don't believe, that we could now be standing here in November and to see what has been accomplished this year. I think there really has been great, great steps taken this year on top of the progress that had already been made in previous years. And I think, it's amazing how life works out. When you have something good and you have good intentions and you want to do good, then doesn't that lead to other things? So is it appropriate that Charles started off the meeting today giving our third quarter results of exceeding our earnings per share? And, I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think that the focus on doing good and sustainability and having good results, there is a linkage, I believe, that companies can really, really do well financially by focusing on doing good. And I think it applies to us as individuals also. But it's really fantastic, and I'm pleased with the progress, and I love a meeting like this. But since we have got some more time, I want to see more examples. What's fun about these meetings? It's not the speeches, and it's not me standing up. That's not why I enjoy the meeting. I enjoy it when I'm listening to someone else. So I think we've got a few examples that we can even tell more of the great stories around the world. And I love the video conferencing. I think if you think about technology and how it affects sustainability, isn't this amazing that we can connect with China, Japan, and Canada? I think we have a store in Canada. I believe it's the Waterdown, Canada. And I think we have the store manager. Maybe we can connect by video. Would that be possible? Is Taylor Scoff on video from Waterdown, Canada?
Good morning.
Hey,
my name
good
is
morning.
Taylor Scoff.
Great to see you, Taylor.
I am the store manager in. Good to see you too. I am the store manager of the Waterdown store. In September, Walmart Canada opened its first high efficiency, or HE, prototype in a small community of Waterdown just west of Toronto. Our supercenter is expected to use up to 30% less energy and integrate industry-leading standards as far as heating, cooling, and refrigeration to reduce energy or conserve energy and reduce greenhouse gases. Our Waterdown store includes many energy-efficient operations features such as waste heat from refrigeration captured to reuse in the heat of the store, low-flow water units such as toilets and sinks, LED lights on the front of the building to reduce energy, low wattage parking lights, cutting energy using lights on the sales floor by 20%, energy recovering ventilation systems and CO2 sensor controls, white roof membranes deflect sunlight by estimated 85% to reduce heat and gain heat in the summer to reduce the demand on electrical grid, increased roof insulation to reduce heating and cooling loss, and high-efficiency prototype will become a norm of all future Walmart Canada stores nationwide. The Waterdown Supercenter will also be Walmart Canada's first high-waste diversion store, incorporating a vast number of waste programs, including but not limited to paper, plastic, organics, polystyrene, wood, and metal recycling and diversion. Ultimately, we intend on operating the entire facility waste-free. We are proud to say that from our possession date till our grand opening date, all of our waste was diverted from landfill. Other sustainability. Time delay. Other sustainable features of the store include concrete floors with chemical-free cleanup and hundreds of environmentally preferred products ranging from organic produce, dry grocery, and dairy to environmentally preferable cleaning and paper products. We will continue to pilot these new technologies in future stores and prototypes to create some of the most sustainable stores in the Canadian retail landscape. With our new sustainable HE prototypes, Walmart Canada is on track to achieve our environmental goals using less energy and produce less waste. Thank you.
Fantastic. What a great story and a great looking store, isn't it? Does anybody want to go with me to drop in and visit Taylor's store? I think it looks like, Taylor, it looks like it's one that we'll want to come to visit you sometime and see firsthand, because there are some things video conference just can't quite capture, and there's still nothing like being on the ground, visiting a store like that great store in Canada. But, you know, what I love is the fact that we're hearing from a store manager. It'd be one thing if we were here and just David Cheesewright, who is the president of Walmart Canada, were representing the story. I think it's even more of a story when it's the manager of that facility that can tell the story so well. And that's what, to me, as we approach and focus on integrating sustainability throughout all of our business, I think this is an indication of that. Brian, you've got a great story at Sam's that I want to share also. Is Debbie here? Debbie Zellick? Debbie, there you are. Please come up, and would you mind? Like I said, y'all know I like to just go and pick on people in the audience, so this is the time everyone should be alert, because you never know who might. Do you have a microphone? Can you tell us about flowers at Sam's?
Well, we were shipping flowers in buckets of water all the way from Miami to wherever they needed to be, and we were brainstorming with a bunch of our team, and they said, what would you do if you could do anything you wanted to do? And I said, let's go dry pack. And I have an example of dry pack. It's just shipping without water, and you can get a lot more product in a small amount of space. So we save a lot in freight, and we provide all the savings onto the member. So we changed all of our clubs to almost all of their product to receive it dry pack, and a lot of effort on our team's part to get this done, because there's a lot of things that had to change in our company. We didn't do a lot of the systems things and operation things. So a lot of training went into it, and it really was very successful. We're making more money for the company this way, too.
It's fantastic. Let's appreciate Debbie, too. But before you put it away, I always
I'm shy.
I already have more questions. So what about the Freshness Cycle? Does it have any effect on that?
Definitely. You actually get a longer shelf life, so the member can get up to 4 more days in shelf life. The clubs get an extra 2 days, so we've decreased our damages by quite a bit, right. Helping our profitability.
That's really fantastic, isn't it? So many things you hear about, whether it's the loading the trailers or drivers, it's a win-win, isn't it? It's not about a trade-off or sacrifice. Sustainability so much is about you do the right thing from a sustainability standpoint, but it's also right for the customer. So Thank you again.
I just want to say that Charles Redfield has bought flowers, and he has given us the seal.
Really?
And if Charles Redfield's happy, then I'm happy.
Wow, that's fantastic. I think Charles is back in the audience, and you're right. Charles has very, very high standards, doesn't he? And I appreciate when he gives his Redfield sign. That's a good one, you know. How about in the finance division? You know, it's not just stores and merchandising, but, you know, think about an area of the business that's important to all of us, the payroll department. Is Diana here? Diana, please tell us what has sustainability meant to the payroll department.
Oh, it means a great deal, Mike. Thank you so much for having us. About mid-September, as you know, we rolled our associate electronic pay program out to all of our associates in the company U.S. side. Since then, we've had over 350,000 associates choose to go to electronic payment, which brings us well over 1 million associates that are receiving their pay through electronic means versus paper payroll or paper check. We saw a great jumping off point with that to move towards our paperless initiative, which ties directly behind that. So just allowing where we could with what we have today, and we've provided online statements, as I'm sure many of you use, for several years now. We said, okay, where we can with that tool, let's see who wants to turn off their paper. So we allowed that in about 23 states. To date, since mid-September, over 123,000 associates have chosen to go paperless with their payroll payment. This role, I have a prop today, Mike. This role represents those associates. So currently, before we had this initiative, it took us about 10 rolls of these to print our paper statements and checks, and we've reduced that by 1 every pay period. So 26 rolls today are saved every year right now. As we go forward, we'll offer other options for distribution and presentment, so we expect that number to just greatly increase over the next few months. We're very excited to be here.
Well, thank you very much, Dinah. That's terrific. You know, I think like we said back at the beginning of the year, every single function in Walmart has a role to play in sustainability. Every single associate does. So whether you're in the payroll department or in merchandising or in the stores, sustainability, it's for your department and it is for you. It's not, no one's left out of this particular area. And Diana, the payroll department, we really appreciate. I remember a few years ago, I think Tom Shoei and I presented an award to the payroll department. I think the Unsung Heroes Award. Do you still have that in the hanging or in your office somewhere?
It's in the main office. We love it. It's still hanging.
I think how many years ago was that we presented? So 7 or 8 years ago, we gave the payroll department this Unsung Hero Award because it's one of those areas that it'd be easy, wouldn't it, for any of us to take for granted until payday, and then we wouldn't take it for granted. But an area like this, think about the payroll department and the impact that you're having in this area. But all of you, think of paper in your own job and what else can you do in your responsibility to eliminate paper, to go more paperless. You know, isn't it easy to hit that print button, isn't it? Or say, I want a hard copy. And think about every time you say, I want a hard copy, or you hit the print button of the payroll department and what's happened there. Rollin Ford and the ISD department have done a really good job of highlighting that and helping to challenge and bring forward to all of us the opportunity to reduce paper. And it's a really, really good story. I don't know how many of you know what Pmdc stands for or have ever visited Pmdc. How many? Can I see who's visited the Pmdc? Quite a few. I'm impressed. They do have the best celebrations around the holidays, and that may be why a lot of y'all have been there. You know, those the big lunches, right, Robert? Those are fantastic. There's a great story from Pmdc. I think is Karen here? Yes, Karen, would you come up and tell us? I know. a microphone. And
Thank you.
tell us about sustainability at Pmdc.
Well, a few years ago, we started looking at what was leaving our back door, what was leaving our front door, and our compactor poles. We were just looking at the whole building in general. We did expand our recycling program. We concentrated on waste. And our waste, today we have, year to date, we have produced about 3 million pounds of waste. And we've recycled all but 3% of it. Our associates, helped us set up the guidelines. They do most of the work. We always look for things that we can replace, reuse, something alternative to something we're throwing away. It's a good program, and we have a lot of support within Walmart and right at our management level. Thank you.
Fantastic. How long have you worked with Walmart? Let's see, at least 15 years. So
18.
18 years.
18 years.
I think the average length of service in the Pmdc facility would be some enormous number. I mean, the average would be at least 18, wouldn't it? Maybe even higher, because there's a lot of
even higher.
There's a lot of associates. So, being a long-term associate, how does sustainability feel to you? As far as a part of Walmart culture, does it fit to you?
It fits. Everybody wants to do the right thing. It's a good thing Walmart's doing this. It is something that everybody can get behind and feel good about doing.
Right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay. In case you're wondering, a lot of this is not scripted. So the questions, that Ryan says, oh no, when you start, he's got more questions, So, and I know someone's looking around and said, I wonder who's going to call on, Sustainability, does require focus, but also requires innovation. And even an area like corporate recruiting, okay, you'd say, how does sustainability fit there? And how could we be more innovative in the recruiting area? So, Mike, your turn. There we go.
How you guys doing? My name is Mike Grenier. I'm the Senior Director of Corporate Recruiting. And our job in recruiting is basically to bring the absolute best talent we can find to the home office here, okay? And for those that are new to Bentonville, you might not know this is not exactly a big town, okay? So for us to find talent, we've got to go across the nation to find people, and in some cases across the world, in fact, Mike. So it's a challenge to bring talent into the company. Now, combine that with the fact that our hiring managers, rightfully so, are very selective, okay? So to hire one person, they usually interview 3 or 4 or 5, in some cases 8 or 9 people to get that one person hired. Well, because they have to come from out of town, typically, we fly them in every single time, okay? And it costs our company anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 every time they come to interview. And we have 400 or 500 openings right now across the company. You figure 5 or 6 interviews per opening, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars a year we spend on recruiting costs. So we had the same brainstorming session you had over there. We talked about how can we do this better, more cost effective. And video interviewing is nothing new. A lot of folks have done that for years. We found a company in California, great name for this session. It's called Green Job Interview. Okay, and what they do is they actually ship a webcam to the candidate to their home, and the candidate can interview with us, a hiring manager here in the home office here, from their home, their office, from a coffee shop, wherever they are. And then the manager can pick those 6 or 7 interviews they like and identify the top 2. Instead of bringing in 5 or 6, they can bring in 2 to interview. So we started the program about 45 days ago, Mike. We've done 55 interviews, virtual interviews. From there, we decided to bring in 10 of the 55. So we saved the company just in a month about $45,000.
Wow, fantastic, isn't it? Got a great story, but I would bet it also speeds up the process too, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Because the big part of recruiting is just calendars, isn't it? And finding when can you fly out and getting a flight to Bentonville, and it can drag on for weeks. So I got to believe that this also will actually be quicker
It's quicker, and it produces a better candidate experience too, because it's a commitment for a candidate to leave wherever they are across the country and come to Bentonville. Mm-hmm. And you know how some candidates, we're not going to hire that person, and they know it. And so if they can get it over with, in fact, in an hour at their house,
right,
and we can make the decision quicker, it helps the candidate experience and also the hiring manager
right.
experience.
Fantastic. All righty.
I don't mean to be so blunt, but it's true, right? We're very selective here. That's a good thing.
Thank you again, Mike. I appreciate it very, very much. So maybe to all associates, think of the examples today that have come up from just brainstorming sessions, that you're sitting with your team and you're thinking about a problem and getting ideas from others in the group, and brainstorming can lead to innovation, which leads to great solutions. So, Mike, we really appreciate the way that you and the team have approached that. Very, very positive. Walmart.com, our friends out in Brisbane, and I think even before here in Bentonville, before we really put a focus on sustainability a few years ago, this would have been something, John, that was important, I think, to many associates at Walmart.com before we kind of officially launched our journey. And we're really proud of the continued focus there. So I think we'll hear what's going on in California.
Good morning from Brisbane, California. I'm Courtney McCrane, and we have stood behind the Walmart initiatives for sustainability, and specifically in the recent months, zero waste. And we had the call to action in May, and by September 14th, we rolled out our program to associates to hit our goal by October 31st, and I'm happy to say that we have exceeded that goal and hit it early. And we've seen a lot of positive behavior changes at home and in the workplace. So we feel like it's trickled down a lot, and it's just a feel-good story. And that's our Walmart.com story.
That's fantastic. It is a great story. What I like, Courtney, and to all the members of the team there, is also the focus on sustainability, but you just said something about taking it home, and the way you're also taking it to customers, and even the growth of the business, helping customers with really good value. I think you've heard and read a lot recently about the price leadership from Walmart.com. And like I said earlier about our results, I think this is all connected, isn't it? And helping customers live better, taking it home to our own families, as Courtney said, making it a part of our business day to day. And y'all are doing that all through, and I think you're just an outstanding example for all of us at Walmart throughout the world. So thanks again, and thanks to all the associates there in Brisbane.
Thank you.
So I think it was Leslie's slide that said, we're never satisfied, unless we're moving forward and challenging ourselves. Think of what Sam Walton would do. He'd be here celebrating, but then he would also close out by challenging us, wouldn't he? To say, how do we even do more? And how do we move faster? How do we apply even more innovation to our jobs? How do we find more ways to save money and then pass on those savings to customers? Our customers need it more than ever. And that's why the focus on sustainability is really, really important at a time like this. Getting 2,000 cases per trailer is a fantastic accomplishment. I'll tell you, I've stood at the end of that conveyor line and loaded a few cartons. I couldn't do but a few, because then you talk about the speed and the way those cartons come at you, and finding the ability to load those at that pace and get that quality of work from our associates is fantastic. The quality of our drivers, the safety and the efficiency of our fleet, the work that's going on in the stores. There's so many ideas. And how many more ideas in merchandising, like the story of the flowers, are there? There are thousands. And why wouldn't we challenge ourselves to find them out more quickly, and to have even more work with our suppliers to even drive this faster and more effectively? And I think all it means is that the world wins. Our customers win, our business wins, our earnings grow, And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's a fantastic cycle to be in.